So we're here still at the Tigers at the Choice UnLimited event, and I'm with Rhona. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
So tell us, what sort of day have you had?
Brilliant day. It's been obviously full of people, but lots of people getting lots of information. We've got a huge amount of stalls, and I think it's been a really positive day.
Now, something like this, is this the first time something like this has happened, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Yeah. And I think with the sort of footfall we've had, sort of people talking about 2,000 people, and obviously being the first time and lots of support from organisations, it'd be fantastic if it could happen again, because again, the regularity of these things are what's important, isn't it?
I understand there are plans to carry on, build on the success of this. So it'll be brilliant if we can do one better next time.
Now, you're on the board of LCIL.
I am, yes.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about LCIL and what some of the plans are for the future.
You know, I missed the last meeting. The plans are to carry on with the work, ensuring that disabled people do get their fair share of what's going on, do have accessibility, do have a chance to participate in the world rather than just in a little shadowy world in a corner.
And things like personalised budgets and things like that is really it's actually quite scary, isn't it?
The personalised budget is very scary. Fortunately, we've got people who know what they're talking about. LCIL can give out advice. LCIL can work towards helping people get what they need, and the amount of knowledge there is. There's also the library at the LCIL with information for anybody who wants it, who can come in and see, can talk to people, can see the information. Hopefully we've got information to cover everything that might be required.
Okay. And what have you thought of today? Have you enjoyed it yourself?
I've enjoyed it myself. I've learnt a lot, because there's always so much to keep learning. We've got some really positive stall holders who are giving already the personalisation information. They're giving choices, which is, let's be honest, the name of it. Choice is unlimited, and the choices are there already, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come.
Now, as you know, you've been involved. Well, you've known me since I started Citizens Eye, haven't you? Nearly 4 years now. I remember you coming on one of our community journalism workshops that we did, and things like social media, like Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, for people with disabilities or carers or people like older people, which we're leading with today with our news agencies. I always think social media is that kind of great equaliser. It allows you to find out information, but make networks with people where you don't have to turn up at groups or even have to leave the house. Have you had much use of social media yourself, or what kind of feedback could you give us from other people you know?
I'm on Twitter myself, and I think Twitter's wonderful. My husband's actually on Facebook. We've got different opinions as to how much information needs to be sent at any one time. But I think, yes, it's direct linking with all sorts of people, all sorts of information, and you can share ideas, you can meet up in groups on social networking. I think there are a number of people who are scared of it, which they shouldn't be. It's not scary. You can keep your own privacy to whichever level you want to, rather than it's, oh no, all my information is going to be out there. It's not like that. You can set your own privacy. And so, yes, you can use it to the level you want to use it. Sorry, go on.
No, someone said to me earlier today as well that Citizens Eye said, oh, you're only interested in good news then. I said, no, it's not about that. It's about positive news. It's about people having positive experiences or having positive outcomes to negative experiences by finding the information or accessing the information. And I think it's a great way of sharing best practice, or this worked for us and that didn't work for us. And ultimately, LCIL must have good sort of national and international contacts as well.
Yes, we do. And as you say, it's not just good news, it's all news. And I'm delighted that various people will put, this is a negative comment, but they will, in the words of Twitter, they will retweet it
Yeah.
It might be a negative comment, but it is a comment that needs to be out there.
Okay, let's start with we've started talking about here, you know, about what's gone on today and all those kind of things. Let's end with something that's quite topical that was in the news today about Dame Tanny with her experience on the train.
Yes.
Have you had any similar experience with that on a mode of transport?
I've had bad experiences on buses here in Leicester, unfortunately, and at one point I had the whole of the bus moaning at me, just because I wanted to use the wheelchair space in a bus with a wheelchair space. And that put me off using buses. And I very rarely use buses now because of that bad experience. I'm not disagreeing with Tanny. I've actually only had good experiences on trains, but part of that is because I normally travel with my husband, and he knows the railways extremely well, and he will not let a train go until somebody has come to get me off, get me on, whatever is needed. So yes, there are good stories, there are bad stories. I've got some brilliant stories about travel, I've got some awful stories about travel. I don't know if you were aware of the Channel 4 stuff yesterday, No Go Britain, which was blogging people's live experiences of their regular daily travels on a Wednesday. And the difference is some of them had some brilliant stories, some of them had bad stories. I'm sure with non-disabled people there would also be good stories and bad stories, because they don't get everything right for everybody. But there are some problems that still need to be addressed with transport.
Ultimately, it's about equality, isn't it? And everybody being treated, no one being treated different from anyone else, and no one being treated specially. It's about equality and everybody being treated the same, isn't it?
I think the problem is people look at disabled needs and think, no, disabled want being treated differently, want to be treated differently, so that they can do it. No, they want the outcome to be equal. They want to be able to travel on a bus in the same way that anybody can just step on a bus and step off a bus. They want to be able to get on a bus and get off a bus without having to book it 3 months in advance and cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go around about your daily life as a member of the human race, not being sort of targeted or, you know, highlighted the fact that you are different from other people, isn't it?
Correct. I mean, there are things that are different for me, and there are other things that are just totally normal and exactly the same as anybody else. So, yeah, equality is that the outcome is equal for everybody.
Brilliant. Rhona, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Brilliant.